L'Afrique du Sud est un pays dangereux. Toutes les statistiques le disent. Alors ici, au bureau, on prend toutes les précautions. Non, attention aux clichés. Le bureau de Johannesbourg se trouve dans une zone relativement calme, sécurisée, et je ne connais pas d'expatriés dans nos quartiers qui ne soient pas heureux en Afrique du Sud. Alors je vais vous présenter le bureau qui travaille avec 15 personnes, dont 4 non-journalistes, pour couvrir une zone de 12 pays. L'Afrique australe, y compris Madagascar et les Comores. Les pays les plus intéressants, l'Angola. Beaucoup de pétrole, un régime extrêmement dur, une bombe à retardement. L'Afrique du Sud, évidemment, avec tout son processus de transformation post-apartheid. Madagascar, énormément de faits divers et une vie politique passionnamment compliquée. Et le Zimbabwe, un régime extrêmement dur aussi, avec un président de 91 ans, Robert Mugabe. Son règne ne va pas tarder à s'arrêter, et là, il va se passer des choses.
What people tend to be interested more about Zimbabwe is the politics of the country. I mean, here is this country that has been ruled by one man for more than 3 decades, and they get intrigued. Yeah, so you have the news moving from the politics, to Cecil the lion that made headlines in the world. A story about a lion that was killed in a national park that many Zimbabweans have never been to. And for Zimbabweans, they didn't care less. I mean, what they were worried more about is to put food on their table. For me, covering the region is more about being in touch with the people in the region, not only here in South Africa where I'm based, but going to places like Malawi, some rural areas in Zambia, in Mozambique, and countries that we don't usually speak about a lot, like Lesotho, small as it is, it's got its own interesting aspects.
Before joining AFP, I worked for local newspapers for about 5 or 6 years, and we've got a really strong culture of political reporting in South Africa because of our history. We can really get into the nitty-gritty, the minutiae of these political stories. Working now for AFP, I've really had to learn to take a step back and view themes and trends as opposed to these single events and these single accusations of who's backstabbing who in the politics of the country.
Vivre en Afrique du Sud, c'est très agréable, et surtout à Johannesbourg. La ville a souvent une mauvaise réputation dans le reste du monde, et à tort, parce que c'est une ville d'abord très verte, où il est très facile de circuler. Et puis il y a beaucoup d'activités culturelles, des concerts, des marchés. Finalement, il y a tout comme en Europe. Et en plus, pour l'Afrique du Sud, c'est très agréable parce que les gens se mélangent quand même à Johannesbourg, beaucoup plus qu'ailleurs.
We can say that photo department is the advanced team of the Africa region. We are the only department of the agency that is in fact in Africa. It's at the same time a work in progress and everyday challenge to have everything working. The communications are not always top notch, so it's going to be complicated to reach the photographers on the ground. But we're very committed to our core, which is the coverage of the breaking news and coverage of the main events on the continent, etc. But we always try to follow the human side of the African stories, the positive side, if you want, of the African stories, and trying to resonate to what the clients are expecting from us: lifestyle, economy, sport, cultural stories, and etc., etc. And we're trying to give voice to African journalists, so we put a particular accent on training that we're doing everywhere we can to try to form the next generation of African journalists who tell stories from Africa on an African perspective.
We have a local freelancer in each of the 12 countries of the region. They do news, but they also do features with our help. And over the years, over the months, we can really see them improving in the quality of the work they provide, and that's really rewarding because they really face many technical challenges out there. I guess what has changed for video is that our clients used to be mostly from Western countries, and now we have many African clients, so our audience really has changed. And it really shows when we have stories like the xenophobic attacks earlier this year in South Africa, because most of the people targeted were from all over the continent, so we had reactions and interest from many African countries.
Sur un territoire presque aussi grand que l'Europe, toute cette couverture ne serait pas possible sans la contribution d'une trentaine de pigistes, textes, photos, vidéos, et sans l'aide précieuse de notre équipe de non-journalistes à Johannesbourg, Chantal, l'assistante, Charmaine, notre comptable, Harry, l'agent commercial, Kouven, le technicien qui sait tout faire, au sein d'un bureau où cohabitent 6 nationalités, sans qu'on ait jamais besoin des casques bleus de l'ONU pour maintenir la bonne ambiance.